Hello guys, hello everyone. Yesterday coming out the Mindseye and the devs is gonna be refund the money if you want to, like if you buying it and you not like it like a Cyberpunk 2077 like then they refund the money because they really bit a little bit falling of the constructs and the things about the game, but it's I would say it's a GTA killer, guys. So let's hear about something news, something
Mindseye.
things about the game, and it's like really like GTA, and the game is
Mindseye.
really have need a lot of and the biggest recommendation of the gaming, like recommended that the graphic card is need to be not so high, not really ultra high, but need to be a good graphic card like 3060, 3050, like that. But it said recommended, but it said it's for 40, 60, 40, 70 because the game is eating your RAMs. So it's sometimes if you play Xbox or I don't know if you playing I don't know it's PlayStation
Mindseye.
it's out release but I'm not sure, but if you play Xbox then I'm not be surprised when your game is gonna be crashed or something like that. But let's see some thoughts and let's see some in opinion and something shares of the others in YouTube. So let's hear it and let's see it.
Mindseye.
And the game is that's his Rocket Boy as EOE in
Mindseye.
the publisher is EOE games like yesterday's is launched and the devs is Rocket Boy, something like that. Yeah, yeah, and
Mindseye. Is it
let's
worth a buy?
see.
Let's read the words of the developer. Mindseye is a narrative-driven single-player action-adventure thriller set in the near-future fictional desert city of Red Rock, featuring best-in-class cinematics, high-octane driving, and explosive combat from game director Leslie Benzies. First up, let's have a look at the graphical options. There's a few things to twiddle and tweak to get the best. Quite a few graphical options. Whether they'll make any difference or not is another thing. The minimum specs of this game are a 2060, if I remember, and I think it's a 4070 is recommended. I mean, they're obscene,
Yeah,
absolutely crazy specs for this game, and the vast majority of PC users are going to be screwed by this game as far as running it. I'm running at 2080, and it was shit. I mean, as expected, even with DLSS, it was just crap. It's just crazy expectations.
it's not
From
a
the
review on
developers,
the
really.
DSS
As
or
for the
not
game, well,
because not
it's
really matter by the
fluctuating from
way.
mixed to mostly negative on Steam. I can't
It's not
actually
really
understand why. I
matter.
can't understand why it's not overwhelmingly negative. I can't believe
Or
people
maybe
actually
when
look
you
this
use
up
it
and give
when
this
you use
a
it
good
in
review. It's
3060
a
and
trash game.
3070
There's no
and
other way
if
of putting it.
you
It's meant to be
if you
kind of an
use
alternative to Grand Theft
DLSS
Auto.
that's
I don't know in what
I don't
bloody
know,
world that is a reality, but it certainly isn't in this world. We'll start with the pluses.
or maybe
There
shoot
are
higher
things that are
like
okay with this game.
40,
The driving
40,
is probably its best feature.
60,
Even with a keyboard, you can steer
50,
the car
70
fine. I
like
mean, I've,
that.
I've
So
played games with way worse driving controls than this, so that's a plus. And dare I say, the story is okay. I mean, I'm scraping the barrel here, but the story is okay. That's about it. Now, I've only played it for a couple of hours. I refunded it. That's why I stopped playing. I was watching the clock and I thought, sod this. It's not worth it. I had hoped it would have been good, but I have seen a lot of negative press over it. I've never seen half of the bugs that are in videos
a lot of
in the
bugs in
time that
there
I've played
like
it, but I saw
because
plenty of dodgy
the
AI. I mean,
Watch Dogs
absolute
Legion
tons of it.
like that
It's
or
kind of
Shadow
like a
of
cover
Gollum.
shooter. It
That's the
plays
worst
like
game
a
ever.
cover shooter in the sense that when
So
you
yeah,
have a fight, there's loads of cover, and you just go over and crouch next to it,
Shadow
and
of
the enemy then
Gollum.
just play whack-a-mole. If you point your cursor at them, they duck. So you just move your cursor away, then they pop up, and you just shoot them in the face. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. I then decided to stop doing whack-a-mole and just run around like an arsehole, not using cover really. And the AI is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, okay, that's 10 plus
Mindseye
hours.
had one of the strangest build-ups I've seen in years. Barely any gameplay before launch, buggy early previews, no early reviews, and most people already
Critiques.
wrote it off. But after 10 hours of playing it with a completely open mind, is it a hidden gem or just as rough as it looks? Well, here's my brutally honest take, so stick with me. So first we have to talk about whether this game performs well or not, as this was one huge concern during early previews, and sometimes it's hard to tell whether knobheads are hating for the sake of hating. So initially, the visuals in this game actually did surprise me. I saw a lot of people saying how the game looked like shit, but straight off the bat, I actually think it looks rather impressive, especially the cutscenes. And even when driving around the map, it actually looks rather decent, and it does feel like a current gen game. One thing I did notice was pop-ins, especially during cutscenes. They aren't terrible, but you will notice them at times. And I did also notice pop-ins when driving fast around the map. I don't think it's as bad as people were saying during the early previews, and I'm guessing the update they released before launch has fixed some of those issues. Now, as for performance, I am playing on PC, and yes, there is definitely FPS drops, and I noticed this most when entering buildings or driving fast. Again, it's not horrendous, but it is something I did notice on my playthrough. I got to be honest, if the bugs are as truly as bad as people were saying, none of this matters. Is Mindseye truly a buggy mess? Well, in my experience, I definitely did encounter some.
I don't know how much longer this car will hold out. I'm a...
It's
Yes, if you
worse
let your car
than
get
Star
shot even
Wars
just a small bit,
Outlaws,
you
bro.
decide to can it. I feel like they need to improve the car's durability during this mission, as people who are amateur hour at video games are going to seriously struggle. Also, Jacob's undetected tailing skills need studying. Trying to be super sneaky, tailing this guy in a drone for Jacob to be ramming him up the arse. I did encounter other small bugs during my playthrough, but nothing as bad as mentioned in the early previews.
Okay,
You
the
also have to
camera.
keep in mind that the build you're seeing on screen is before the day 1 or day 2 patch, so I would expect certain things to be cleared up by then. And apparently the PC version is the most stable. I have no idea how true that is, but I am personally playing the PC version and it wasn't too bad. So the game's foundation certainly isn't perfect, but let's now talk about the gameplay, because this is where things get a little messy, but also surprising.
Yeah, it's when you play in the first 1 hour, then you not meet little bit bugs, but after that, if you spend like 6 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, or your game is crashed or something like that, then
Aidan here
you
from
recognize the
with my
game
review for
of the
Mindseye on
value.
PS5, the supposed...
And I don't know it said when
Everyone,
the game have a value and they selling copies, like a lot of million copies of the game, and they say it's really good game, and say, oh my god, this game is crap, and like that. But when you meet like the first when the Cyberpunk is released, then the first maybe 1 month, it's everybody criticizes for the game. And after that, people realize the in the game catalog they have a much worse things, much worse games. It's worse than the Cyberpunk. Be honest. So this game is much worse than the Cyberpunk 2077.
Everyone, Aidan here from Push Square with my review for Mindseye on PS5, the supposed GTA killer. Let's see if it's killing anything other than
Yeah,
itself in our
GTA
PS5
killer.
review. So before I even got my hands on Mindseye, I wasn't quite clear on what kind of game it even is. Is it an open world title? Is it linear? How does the user generated everywhere project fit into it all? I'll get into all of those, but the most important thing to know about Mindseye is that it's a disjointed and tragic mess of a game. It's like Build a Rocket Boy forgot it had a
Rocket
school
Boy.
project due, and this was the best it could rustle up on short notice. So Mindseye is a third-person action-adventure game set in the futuristic city of Red Rock. It's a Las Vegas alternative filled with robots, drones, and plenty of neon lights. It's even got that now iconic sphere thing from Las Vegas. Despite its large-scale setting though, Mindseye is not an open world game. Instead, this is a more linear tale focused on former soldier Jacob Diaz, a man with a patchy memory thanks to his mind's eye implant. He's infiltrating the tech company Silva, the creators of his implant, in the hope of discovering what went wrong all those years ago. Now what follows is a story of corporate secrets, military aspirations, and maybe even something else.
Much anticipation, Mindseye just released. Buy it and VSync depth here. That's where you
Yeah, let's see the before
And
you
we're back with
buy.
another episode of Before You Buy. That show we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing.
Yeah, we
As
watched this
usual, it's
and
me, Jake, and
I
today we're talking
and
about
after
Mindseye. This is a game from new
just
studio Build a
don't want
Rocket
to
Boy,
talk about
grabbing some
more
headlines
about
and
this
attention
game,
for
by the way,
being
but
directed by a former
we should talk
Rockstar
about this
head behind
game
the early
anyway.
Grand Theft Auto games. We were really curious about this one and kind of looking forward to seeing what it was all about. Frankly, we were rooting for it. Review codes didn't go out, so we just bought the game, and here it is. So, just so you know, this footage you see here was captured running on PS5 Pro, and this video is spoiler-free. Now, right up front, just know that you're getting the rare negative Jake in this one, man. Mindseye is not good, and unfortunately, just feels like a waste of time. It's dull,
Waste of-
uninspired,
waste of
messy,
money.
and it's short. And it's
course,
60
$60
US dollars.
yeah.
Mindseye is a single-player
Yeah, 60 bucks.
game. Look,
60
it's something
bucks,
I tend
guys.
to endorse and enjoy pretty frequently, but I can't recommend this game. Not because of the
What
bugs
bucks?
and the glitches or performance,
Bucks.
maybe stuff
Like
you've
in the
seen
game.
online, but just because it's an undercooked rush game with no real life to it. And that pains me to say for a multitude of reasons, right? Number one, on the surface, I thought this game looked kind of cool. Number two, I love single-player action-adventure games. Linear, non-linear, whatever. And I don't even mind if they're short, as long as they're good. But Mindseye falters on a lot of fronts. Anyway, what is this game? So in it, you play as Jacob Diaz, a former soldier field drone operator in the near future who finds himself in fictional Red Rock City, looking for answers after he was discharged and missing some of his memories. Now, this city is essentially based on Las Vegas, and it's absolutely the highlight of the game, to start with a positive. Like, it can be pretty gorgeous here. Despite being fictionalized and, yes, futuristic, it really captures the feel of real-world Las Vegas. Not just the glitzy casino strip. There's more to it than that. The real rest of it. The Americana. It's nice looking, and it just feels like a good, unique game setting and a potentially good playground. The city just serves as a backdrop, though, as this is not an
The shooting,
open-world
the
adventure.
shooting
Think
looks
more
like
earlier
2006,
Mafia
bro.
games, where it's something you can drive around in and
2009.
explore,
The
but it's
shooting,
a setting more than anything, and that's fine. I don't mind, but the story
It's
the
crazy.
game tries to tell
And not the
in this
Ubisoft doing
world
that. Not
is
the
what I found to
Ubisoft
be,
doing that,
frankly,
guys.
pretty boring. The game essentially has you driving from A to B, getting out of your car, shooting some things, or clicking on something and heading to the next. These are occasionally broken up by optional side missions and the occasional minigame or stealth sequence or chase or a few other surprises. The main crux, though, is the third-person shooting, which unfortunately just falls flat. You get a handful of weapons throughout the game, and most of them feel really soft. None of them are really exciting, and the feedback just isn't there. Like, the hits feel unsatisfying, and all the guns just sound muted and lack any real punch. This is just a boilerplate, simple third-person shooting system that just feels really outdated. It feels like an older game with clunky movement and
Yeah.
this really simplistic cover
It's like
system that
2009.
almost feels pre-Gears of War. There's also no dodge roll or melee. There's not any grenades or fun tricks or anything. Just a little drone guy you can pilot around. You can have it hover around you to stun or hack enemies, and you can also just jump into it and control it via first-person view at any point, which is technically impressive and kind of cool. But the game, like with a lot of things in this game, like it just doesn't really ever come up with any better ideas for using it other than just unlock a door. That's it. It just feels like wasted potential. And with this and all the tech future stuff they got going on, it just kind of makes the game feel like Watch Dogs, but bad. Enemies are incredibly dull. Sometimes they just don't do anything, or they take way too long to actually respond to you. Like there's such a delay.
They don't have reaction, like if you stand still and
they just didn't do anything while
he's in the corner or something like that.
Blindly run right towards you. There's not really a lot of variety here or shakeups to challenge you or think differently in combat. Just mindless, simple shooting against humans and robots. There are some cool animations here and there, but like ultimately, it's not impressive or engaging at all. Driving, at least, feels pretty solid. Now, because it's a story-focused game, while you can mostly get out of the car whenever you want, you're relegated to sticking with the car you have in the story currently, for the most part. And frustratingly, the game just takes a long time to actually give you something fast. It's kind of baffling. But when you are driving fast, drifting around corners and dodging some surprisingly dense traffic actually feels pretty good. Where this tends to fall apart is just kind of the way the environment is, like how it's designed. I've hit some things like a little tiny outcropping, like a little rock off-road, or maybe clip a weird curb that would just cause my car to completely stop. I've also popped a curb and flown into an area that I just couldn't drive my way out of. This happened to me quite
lot of things.
Absolutely a troll.
And a little bit more sci-fi than the
Car.
Let's go.
Mine's it's sexy. Even GTA ambitious.
Servus, der Schwarzub.
We are.
Advice to management.
Mindseye follows Jake.
Of the wearable, the tech. However, there's no narrows it down.
So, I just thought of Mindseye.
Hey, I just remembered. The chairs in the boardroom were apparently
okay.
kind of uncomfortable, according to one of the
Okay,
execs.
that's crazy.
A mini Brand's kawaii
Oh
túlcsordul a
my
cukiságtól. 5 imádnivaló cukiság mindegyikben.
Yeah, that's the guy's dead area is if you yeah it's really bad problematic.
What are you doing here?
Come with me.
Only the cinematics is good to the guys that yeah. Wow.
Drive like you're playing a video game. Gunfire, I'm hearing?
Well, it ain't popcorn. They think
You're about to enter a residential neighborhood. You think Robin Hood may be holed up there?
What do you know?
I just saw him once. He has the same chunk of metal on his neck, and he had a prosthetic arm. He was all tatted up.
Jesse, what's going on?
Wow. Wow, okay. That's crazy, bro. levitating, walking guy on the street. Oh my god. That's crazy.
Niner territory. Get there fast. We can't let whoever blew up the factory get to the target before us. You need to get the location of the second hacker from him.
He dead. Fire. Yeah, it's like 2004, guys. When you hit by the something like this, and only the camera is shaking, like all the old classic years in 2004. Yeah, that's not bad, not bad game, but the cyberpunk is bad. Wow. Okay, lot of bugs there. It's more than the Ubisoft do, like the Watch Dogs Legion. So yeah, and this is not the Ubisoft do it. This game is not the Ubisoft make. So yeah, and these guys is $60 on Steam, and the rate is so negative. So yeah, this is the reason. And maybe when you're playing, and your game is gonna be crashed. That's I swear to God, when you're playing, for example, 5 or 6 hours straight, then your game is gonna be crashed. So yeah, thank you guys. This was my review. So yeah, I don't need to say anything more. So yeah, thank you so much, and see you next time.